Association. So as part of an ongoing series, we are doing some grant reviews that will help you as an organization access and confidently apply for some funding opportunities for your business. Not every grant opportunity is going to apply to your business, but if you are here and you come regularly, I'm sure you're going to find something that meets your needs. So again, so I didn't talk about why I was a sponsor, so let's talk about the Mishawaka Business Association right now. Number one, this is a perfect time to join the Mishawaka Business Association. We have a lot of new activities, events, and opportunities for small businesses who not only are located in Mishawaka, but who want to do business in Mishawaka. So you don't have to be a Mishawaka business to join a Mishawaka Association. You just need to want to do business, want to learn and grow, and join us here in Mishawaka as we all grow together. So here's some information to join the Mishawaka Business Association. You can go to our website, www.mishawakabusiness.org, and if you have any questions, here's my email to contact me. But let's talk about some of the benefits. In addition to these grant reviews that are open to everyone, the public, you don't have to be a member. This is part of 1 Million Cups, so you can come to learn about these opportunities and other, you'll be able to access other presentations like what's going to happen after the grant review. But for the grant review, members have access to small business opportunities that they can work with myself, executive director, to get their applications reviewed and submitted on time. We have small business grants focused on general audiences and discussion of best practices and strategies to improve your chances of winning. So each opportunity that you have will be added to follow up with myself, only for members. So that's a benefit of being a member of the Mishawaka Business Association. I am a professional grant writer. That's my personal business. I'm teaching people not only how to win and find and submit grants on their own, but also do grant writing for small businesses and organizations. So you'll be able to access my skills and talents for your organization just for being a member of the Mishawaka Business Association. So that's my little plug. We will be talking about it one more time before I sit down. But just as a sponsor, every week, any sponsor gets to talk about their business, so keep that in mind when you're considering being a sponsor. All right, so today we are going to talk about a quick turnaround opportunity. The deadline is July 31st. But I really, yes. Yes, what's today? The 30th. So, if you've ever heard me give a grant presentation, I always say be ready. So, if this opportunity is not for you, and it's not a simple, easy, one-question one either, if it's not for you, put it on your calendar that you can do for next year, because this is a nice opportunity, and I'm going to give you a lot of strategies to win this one, if not now, in the future. Some of the things that we're going to go over are finding and going after the keywords. Make sure you do a thorough review of the requirements and how to best tell your story so that you can put your best foot forward to get funding. So the reason why I like this because it has multiple levels, hundreds of awards given. This one has one of the best probabilities of winning if you meet the requirements. So we'll go over all of that today. Excuse me. So I always use the same or very similar submission process. So we're going to take a 4-step approach to funding opportunities. Number one, you always start by reviewing the requirements and the opportunity. Go through all of the information, the About Us page, Everything that you can find out will give you information not only about the grant opportunity, but also the organization. Don't just read the application and go from there. You will miss critical information if you do that. Start with learning all you can about the organization and then go to the grant application for specific requirements. Don't just type into the response boxes. A lot of people are going to do that, but you will have a better application and responses if you first copy the questions in the application, paste them into a Word document or equivalent Google Docs or anything like that, and then do your editing there. There'll be usually word limit requirements. There are going to be opportunities for you to do spell checking, grammar checking that you will not have available if you just type into the box. So make sure you utilize every tool possible. And the first thing is copy those questions and paste them in a Word document so you can do better editing, and you can share your document with people who can help you with step 3, which is proofreading. A lot of times people think they are saying things, getting the point across that they want, and it turns out they're not. You need to have other people to look at it and verify that it is saying what you think that you said, and that it's actually answering the question. So many people have a problem with actually answering the question that's asked. So how do you verify that? Not only do you read it over, write it, set it aside, come back to it and read it, but also ask at least one other person to take a look at your responses. And then the last step, you would think it doesn't need to be said, but you know, and like in this opportunity, if you do this, you're going to be sending it very close to the deadline. But when you have the opportunity to send it early, please take advantage of it, because things happen at the end. Websites crash because everybody else is trying to do it at the last minute. I can't tell you how many times where it was scary trying to get something in at the last minute because there were all these technical problems. So make sure, if you can, get the application in as early as possible. So again, one of my favorite opportunities, let's talk about it. This one is called the Backing Small Business Grant Program, and it's supported by American Express. And we'll talk about that again later, but it's provides support to significant small businesses with community reach. Now, if you remember, you know, back when we talked about this slide, we're going to be looking for keywords. So let's take some time to make sure that when you're reading things that you're looking for keywords. Number one, I would even highlight them, write them out in my Word document so that I'm making sure I'm referring back to them when I'm writing my responses. So just put your keywords up at the top of your document so that you don't have to go back and look for them later. You remember them, they're right there. So we just passed a few small businesses with community reach, okay? The program is accepting application for grants of $10,000 to fund projects that promote sustainable growth. Is your project promoting sustainable growth? Enhance long-term resilience and create local impact. One of the things that I always talk to my small businesses about, so all grants are not about business as usual. They are not looking to fund your business to help you make a profit, although that's what your business does, right? We're all in business to make money, but that's not what grants are meant to do. The grants are meant to allow you to grow, pivot, but the organizations that win are the ones that have impact on their community, on a vulnerable population, some way benefiting the region that they're working in a non-typical way. Because all businesses provide services, but how are you impacting some area of your community that needs support? So this grant started as a disaster recovery grant, but it did pivot to make a broader reach. This grant offers 400 additional grants for $10,000. Honest to God, I don't think I know of one that offers more opportunities to win a grant. Of course, they're going to get thousands of applications, but they're giving at least 400 $10,000 awards, and that's not even all. So we'll talk about some other opportunities through this grant too. This is why, if you do not apply now, if you don't meet the requirements, I would offer you, we're going to talk about some opportunities to meet the requirements in the future. So if you're not ready today, put it on your calendar for next time. So did anybody see some keywords here that you would write on top of your document? This is where you can, participate. Anybody want to find out a keyword or 3 or 5?
It says significant small business, so,
Yes.
Whoops.
I forget mine. Guess we just added a slide there. Yes, so a significant small business. So we'll look back at what that means. But yes, those would be a word that I would put, a few words I put at the top.
Local impact.
Local impact. Long-term resilience. And so you're going to have to make a case for what that means for your business. So this is where your thought process, maybe some other heads, people who are intimately knowledgeable about your business can help you identify what you can say here. We also want to, was there another keyword in here? But one of the points I wanted to make, and I mentioned American Express, and I will come back to that. One of the ways that you can establish your business is by getting business credit, and one of those ways is by getting a business credit card. American Express has an excellent business credit card, and it's a way to establish a relationship with them. So if your business does not have credit, this might be a good time to consider getting an American Express business card. Now, I don't usually do commercials for them, but I do want you to be able to get a grant. So it's just one of the many cards that you can get. A lot of banks and financial institutions offer not only business credit, but also funding opportunities. So if you have not gotten a business credit card for your business, it's a great opportunity to establish your credit and also become visible to that organization when it comes down to funding opportunities. And American Express is just one of them. So that's my mention about American Express.
I have a question about that. So,
Okay.
is there information if you are affiliated with American Express for business, maybe a different business? Is this information on their website?
American Express website?
Yeah.
No, it's on that website. Back at the beginning, but I'll make sure I show you that again before I'm done. So here are some other things about that grant opportunity that you should know. Proposals for the $10,000 grant needs to be feasible to achieve with only the $10,000. So this is not an opportunity that you need to say, I need $100,000 and I'm asking $10,000 toward that. They're saying that if you ask for this $10,000 grant, this $10,000 should be all that you need to complete this request. Nothing more. If it is, then you're not eligible for this opportunity. A lot of people are going to say, my budget is this, and I just want $10,000 for it, and immediately become ineligible. So make sure you understand what that part means. It needs to be feasible to achieve with only $10,000. And it needs to be completed by the end of the year. So we are in July. It's gonna take a month or so to get the award. Whatever it is needs to be done with only $10,000 and by December 31st. Okay, so whatever you need to do, whatever impact you want to have, it needs to be done by December 31st. And then there's also going to be some reporting requirements for this grant. So That's another big thing. A lot of people don't understand when you get rewards, like grants and things like that, there are requirements for communicating this later on. So understand that you need to collect data. You need to be tracking the use of the money and the impact, because impact is what they're interested in. So don't just take the money and spend it, and because if you do that, you will be ineligible for future grants with this. And let's look back here about why you want to make sure you complete all the steps. So they're giving 500 grants, actually of $10,000, including some disaster recovery grants, and a limited subset of 25 will be awarded $30,000. So there's a $10,000 grant and there's a $30,000 grant. What's that?
That's a lot of money to give out.
Right. And then these grants, the $30,000 grants, are to support transformative projects that strengthen their businesses and deepen their impact within the community. So, $30,000 support transformative projects. Not just impactful, they're looking for transformative now. And that's up to you to be able to communicate how your impact is transformative to what, a certain population, your city, to the business community. You get to decide that, and you get to communicate that. So these are other keywords, not necessarily useful at this stage, but these are only for the 25 of the 500 that got $10,000. 25 will be selected to get the $30,000. This is why you need to do the follow-up for the $10,000, because you'll never be able to access the $30,000 if you don't do all the steps for the $10,000 grant. So, of course, when you hit the link, there's going to be a lot of questions, yes or no, things about yourself, things about your business. But here are the questions that you're going to have to answer. So, in all of your writing, before we go through these, I want to give you a little perspective. Number one, you're not writing about your business and what your business needs. So many people are going to do that. Of course, you need marketing. You may need some equipment. You may need some inventory. That is not what you're going to write about. This grant opportunity is about impact. And you're going to write about how, when you get those things, you're going to be able to make this impact that they're so interested in. So if you focus on, we really need a printer, the printer will help us do this, and the printer costs $5,000, it's an industrial printer. Nobody cares about your printer. We understand that you need that, but that's not what they're funding. They are looking to fund impact. And if we will talk about the printer that we need, yes, but 90% of this grant opportunity must be focused on your impact. How is it transformative? How is it adding to the resilience of your organization? How is it making you impactful? So make sure when you are answering these questions, make sure you're probably going to start writing about your need, writing about yourself. But I'm going to talk to you about how you refocus your mind back to the impact. So let's talk about number one. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to be a small business owner. And how did you get started? Personal experiences, and a community inform how you develop your business. So, a lot of us have stories, right? We didn't want to work for someone else. We had found out that we were good at something and we could make money at it. We wanted to pursue it. Wrong answer. Our answer, again, is about our key words. So we're going to go back to our key words at the top. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to start a small business. You saw a need in the community and you want to make impact, right? you were maybe living under what someone else thought was important, but you saw that what your skills could do would positively impact others. Tell us about your experiences. How did your experience make you more resilient? How did your experience add to the skill set you need to make you more impactful? You see how my keywords are going to be reiterated in my responses, not on, what I probably would have said had I started typing, but now they're going to be very focused on what the funder finds important. What, have you faced any challenges or hardship in building your business? Yes, we're going to describe here how we use our skills, resources, knowledge, connections to become more resilient. Because this is what they're talking about. Don't tell the story of, how someone tried to scam me and, I had to get over. Unless you're going to spin it about how that made you more resilient, how that made you more impactful, how that deepened your reach into your community. Those should be the things that you tell about. Everything that happens everything that happens to you isn't relevant to every question. Make sure you only use the relevant parts of your story, your history, that will make the case for this grant opportunity. So tell us about your business today, including what products and services you offer and which communities you serve. Well, you should be talking about a community that's how you are impactful in your community, how in the community you are making a difference, improving or helping a vulnerable population. Is it children? People with disabilities? Are we helping people who are living check to check learn how to, better meet their needs, better support their families, better take care of their health or wellness? There are opportunities for you to get off track here when you're talking about your business, but make sure your keywords are continuing to resonate to your response. Of course, this one is more direct. Please describe the role of your business plays in your community. What makes your business significant? Now, this is great. Hopefully you talk to your customers and your clients and get feedback from them. This is a great place to use that information. Somebody like Mia's Oils, where she helps women who may be going through cancer, children, people with alopecia, try to feel better about themselves. What are some of the things that they're seeing that have helped them, your product services have helped them feel better? So talk about who you are supporting. Again, everybody, if your products would apply to everybody, that's not a good answer. Think about it. Who is it that you are really impacting? Who is it that is benefited? It could be families. It could be schools. It could be municipalities that provide essential services to people. But make sure, however it is that you do it, it could be IT, right? That sounds sexy all the time, but that also connects people with the world. So without what you do, people can be isolated and fall behind, not having jobs, not being able to do their homework, not being able to. So that's very critical if you really think about how it impacts people. And then how do you plan to use the award? This is the only place where you're going to talk about what you're actually going to use the award for. If it's to get, new infrastructure, products, whatever, say that. Outline it here. How much does it cost? Anybody know how much money we're going to ask for?
$10,000.
And are we going to need any more than that?
No.
No, just $10,000. Whatever we do, it needs to be $10,000. Don't ask for $5,000 and don't ask for $25,000. Ask for $10,000 and demonstrate, show what you're going to do for that. So that's all you need to do there. This is where you explicitly, and the only place you're gonna talk about exactly what you need to use that money for. Every place else, you're talking about impact. Any questions on the drafting part? Again, we're putting this in Word, so we can share it with other people, grammar check, do spell check, everything we need to do. We do it in a Word first. And I wanted to mention, all of these have word limits. So you're gonna write out everything you wanna say. Don't worry about the words first. And then write it out, check how many words you have, and then shrink it when you can. And AI probably can help you with that.
Well, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, like, do they advertise any criteria, or in your experience, like, I mean, I use ChatGPT a lot. Like, I could put in these prompts and some of my stuff and tell them how many words, and it'll generate something.
Yeah.
But, like, do these organizations frown on it? Did they use AI detecting tools to say, hey, you didn't write this wasn't you, this was ChatGPT that wrote that? Like, I would be concerned about that.
Yeah, so there was no mention of the use of AI restrictions in this. So my personal belief on AI use is, I think you need to start with your own heart, your passion, your words,
Okay.
and then see if AI can help you condense or refine it. Or think of something that you didn't think of.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't depend on it because it does make up things right now. I don't know why, it just adds things that may or may not be true. And it may lead you down a path where you may not want to go. It has ideas of what you could do with the money, I'm sure. If you say, I'm going to do this, and it's like, the logical path with AI is that you do something that you did not plan to do. But again, if you did do that, got an award for $10,000, I would encourage you to do what you said you were going to do, so that you'd be eligible for the $30,000.
Also, I'm wondering if you put your own ideas into, okay, so for example, I have a blog, so I have an idea what I'm going to blog about. So I go into AI and I write what I want my blog to be about. So like about these 10 things, and I want it to come to this conclusion, blah, blah, blah. Then I ask it to create a blog around that. Then I've asked it, is this original content or did you copy it from somewhere else? So I ask AI that. And most of the time it says it created an original content because I gave it technically the content. It just created sentences around it. So also in copywriting, if you do 25% of it as your words, then it's considered an original document. So if you even copy somebody else's work, but you change 25% of it, then it's now considered original content. So that might be true or might not, because I don't know the rules, but they do have programs that check to see how much of what you have is generated by AI. And some of those programs tell you the words. Like there's certain words that only AI pretty much uses. So then you can remove those words.
Well, everything you read on the internet's true.
Exactly.
And another thing is, in my use of AI, and comparing it to my own work, I find it to be very general. So it's like having a grant writer with no experience in your business write your grant for you. It's going to be general.
Yeah.
You have specific information, data, numbers that you need to add to it, to add depth, to add your own passion into it. So even if you use AI to help you, start with your own words and then try to use it to condense.
Yeah, that could be not more true than what you just said. I used to write articles about guerrilla marketing, which is not really well known. But I used to write teaching articles on that, and I would write the article, we would feed it to AI. All they did was clean it up a little bit. They did not change the content, because that was really important, because there's only one thing I wanted to get across on certain subjects of guerrilla marketing. And it was a whole series. It was a 12-month series of guerrilla marketing. But they just changed it just enough to clean it up.
Right.
They did not change the gist of the content. And that's, you know, cause you can tell what somebody's written and it's, you know, GPT, generated.
Right.
I can spot it a mile away. But this one was, it had my own words.
Right.
And it took a couple of prompt, learning curve.
Right.
Because I found out that GPT, it uses the word delve a lot. And it was like 5 delves in the first 2 paragraphs. I said, well, we gotta clean that and get that out of there.
Right.
But, yeah, doing it your own heart, what you're wanting to say, and then just have them clean it up, not rewrite it or write it in the first place.
Agreed.
I have a question about that. So when you do put your stuff into, you know, these AI platforms, are they able to now use what you put in there and it's theirs now and anybody else now can access it?
Yes.
You can actually turn that off. There is a setting where you can turn that off. It's like, don't use my material for machine learning.
Yeah.
It's in the settings, you can turn it
For
off.
what learning?
I don't remember the exact, it's something along the lines of don't use this for extra learning.
Yep,
or
don't
machine
share.
learning. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So you can turn that off. And, your content is still your content. You know, copyright and all that still applies even if it's in the machine.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, let's talk about proofreading. Now, for MBA members, I can help you proofread your documents before you send it off, help give you some suggestions, ideas to make it better, more personal, more impactful. But it can be anyone who's going to be honest with you, right? We need somebody to tell you, yeah, you didn't quite answer that question, you were rambling, never made a point. You just, it's not specific enough. I don't feel. You need somebody who's going to give you some real feedback. So don't just ask anybody. Ask that person who is annoyingly specific. So here are some of the questions that you want to ask those people who help you proofread. Did I describe what I wanted to? If you told them what you were trying to get across, ask them, did you describe that? Are there any lingering questions? So after they read what you wrote, did it generate some more questions? If it did, make sure you answer those questions in that response. You don't want to leave open questions after you write something. Is it compelling? Does it move them to want to give you the funding, even though they're not over it? You want to make sure that it's compelling to some person who reads it. And is there anything important that they should add? Did they feel like something was missing that you should have said? Don't do it alone. You can read it, think it's perfect, and just a couple of more eyes would have helped you see something that you missed. So don't do it alone if you can avoid it. If nothing else, ask AI to help you do it. And so they did say there was a follow-up, right? So here's the follow-up. First of all, if you don't do the final report, you aren't eligible for the $30,000. You do need to keep track of data while you're doing your project or program so that you can use it for accurate reporting. And there is a deadline for submitting. So grantees must complete their project by December 31st, 2025 and submit a required final report by January 15th. A template is provided. They're going to ask you about the completed project, the impact, and clear documentation, including photos, descriptions, and things of that nature. So if you're not in the habit of doing those things for your social media, hopefully you have social media, website, things like that, you should begin collecting things like that, photos of your product, photos of customers. If they give a review, ask them to send in a photo of themselves with it. Those kind of things will help you be able to present the final reports as requested. So, I didn't know what's the language in this one. Okay, this one. are the requirements. Is this for you, right? Again, if it's not for you, think about the future. Make some connections so you can increase your opportunity. And this is one of the best opportunities for small businesses that out there. But if it's not right for you, don't overextend yourself. There are other opportunities. Let's look at the requirements. Number one, you must be at least 18 years old. You need to be in business since January 2024. You need to not be a solely web-based business since January 2025. So I know some
Not be a
people
what?
solely web-based.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you're solely web-based, this is not one for you. If you do need to be in a brick and mortar. Also, not only brick and mortar, but also in an older or historic downtown or commercial district. So let's talk about this. I know this does not apply to everybody, but I'm gonna give you some examples of how this works when we go through. You need to be an independent business, not a franchise. You need to be a for-profit and in good standing with 20 or fewer employees. Okay, so let's talk about the big one, the brick and mortar. So there was a young lady who came in and did a presentation here at 1 Million Cups. Maybe you were here. She was what's the people who call the stamp things that you sign?
Notary.
Notary, thank you. She was a notary, and she did like a mobile notary. But what she did was partner with a candy shop location to give herself a brick and mortar. And she just pays a small rent, and she has a place where she can meet with people and when she needs to. So even in my business, like I work from home, so I will not be ready for this this year, because you need to be have a brick and mortar by, I believe, January 2025. So that means by January 2026, if I want to apply for this next year, I need to have a brick and mortar location in a downtown district. So I started thinking, I'm like, where is there a place that I could partner with, just to have a location that I could go to at sometimes work out some kind of arrangement? Would it be worth it for $10,000? Would it be worth it for $30,000 if I could do the next one? Maybe. I'll think about it. I have time. This is due July 31st, now 2026, if I'm not ready this year. So I have time to think about it. But just that one young lady's, her experience definitely made this seem possible for myself and some of the other businesses. If you're solely web-based, just having a spot where people could walk in, or you could meet or talk or even sell products from, may be helpful.
Would not that it exists right now, well, kind of does. Would a mailbox at a co-working space count as brick and mortar?
So I'm not sure if a mailbox would, but I know there's a co-working space in South Bend that's coming available. So you would have a temporary office or something there, that would actually work. You have an office location at a co-working space. So that would actually work.
Yeah.
So but what I say here is, even though this is a good opportunity, if it's not for you, don't overextend yourself. Don't give yourself a monthly rent payment when you don't need to. Okay, only if this is for you. So think about it and consider it. I'm saying, where did that slide go? I want to make sure I go over that before we got to the end, because I skipped it to go to the follow-up. So just with this and all other grant opportunities, make sure that you keep on topic, put your keywords down, and make sure you reference them in your responses. If you don't have any community investment, if you haven't right now in your everyday work, think about it. Think about how you can invest in your community. And to start, because that does make you more fundable across the board. If you don't also have your website or social media up and active, please start doing that too. That's a lot of times I'm seeing that requirement. So please take advantage of this opportunity if it works for you. This is a one-time annually, so this has been around for years. It most likely will come back next year. Again, use a Word document to write out your responses before you paste it into the response boxes. There are 250 word limits, so keep that in mind. If you are an MBA member, you can make an appointment with me to review your documents. And as always, I wish you good luck on your grant writing journey. So, what are your next steps? Number one, you can always join the MBA. Go to mishawakabusiness.org, and it's very affordable to become a member. So go to mishawaka.org, take a look at the membership opportunities, and if you have a question, you can always contact me. If you choose to start this application, be sure you get input, complete that application on time. It's a short deadline. And schedule an appointment with me if you have questions about this or any other funding opportunities. Make sure you come to 1 Million Cup Weekly, because they're not always grant reviews, but we do have other presentations that you can participate in and grow your business with us in Mishawaka. I'm going to go back and put the website back up for a second so you can see that, and ask you if there are any other questions.
I had one, and you might have said it, but who is giving out this grant money?
So this one is sponsored by American Express,
Oh,
and
I
that's
see.
why they got a little pitch there in the beginning about giving your potential establishing your business credit. If you haven't yet, that's just a great opportunity to establish your business credit with American Express. I have been I actually did that some years ago, and it does help. If you're thinking about getting funding in the future, having some type of credit is helpful. So if you haven't, consider it.
Although if you're a brick and mortar business, you probably have credit.
Right.
True.
Because some of us are still working toward that. And then finally, here's my contact information.